Hello everybody, welcome back to another video. Now in this video we'll be talking Manchester United's player of the season. Now the season have obviously concluded, and I'll be going through 4 candidates for player of the season and giving you my overall conclusion at the end. So don't forget to drop a like, comment, subscribe, stay tuned for more videos. Let me know what videos you want to see coming up on the channel. And without further ado, let's get straight into it. So I'm going to be talking about 4 players. 4 players whose seasons have outshined the rest of the Manchester United squad, and which has been a very, very tough season for the whole of Manchester United. The first player I'm going to be talking about is Diego Dalot. I think Diego Dalot thoroughly deserves the player of the season that he got from Manchester United. I think his performances have massively progressed this season. I remember last season he was starting games, but he wasn't really shining. He was consistent at times, and there were times where he was getting really destroyed at the back defensively. I remember him playing against Danjuma for against Villarreal in the Champions League, and he got absolutely torn to shreds. Every one-on-one duel, he was just weak into the challenge, and he wasn't really doing enough defensively either. We always knew Dalot had that immense attacking threat going forward, but he couldn't really show it enough in Manchester United's games. I think obviously in the pre-seasons he's massively improved, and he's coming to this season absolutely fantastic. We look at the development that he's made under Erik ten Hag is fantastic, and it all started under Ralf Rangnick. I think Dalot, a young right back who for me should be starting for Manchester United next season. I think we do need to buy another right back, but I still have Dalot in and around there. I think he's proved how versatile he can be, how he can develop to new philosophies, and develop his game to the best ability that he can, playing into at times playing left back, playing right back, going into midfield if needed. Like his knowledge of the game is massively increased, and I think he's improved this professionally to a point where he's almost become undroppable. I think the progression of his performances, the development of him as a player and as a person has been fantastic on and off the pitch. There's reports saying that he's massively changed the way that he's acted, and you can see that in his performances. Some highlights, I think Liverpool away, he was absolutely fantastic. He played into midfield, and in a tough game away at Anfield, it was fantastic. I think the FA Cup final recently, he was brilliant as well. If I would have another standout game, it'd probably be... Listen, there's been... With Dalot, I think one thing that massively improved is his consistency. Like, he was a fantastic player, we knew that. And he struggled to get games, but I think this season he's been so consistent. Maybe had 2 or 3 bad games. But overall, as a conclusion, he's been fantastic, and I think he's thoroughly deserving of that Manchester United Player of the Season award. Listen, I just think he's fantastic. I think he's improved massively. We knew that he had that attacking threat from early on in his career, and we didn't really know what defensive threat he had. We knew he was quite weak there, and we didn't know he was as strong, but I think that's improved. If you look at the energy that he has up and down the pitch, he's scored some great goals this season against Wigan, Sheffield United. Put some great crosses into the box for Garnacho's bicycle kick, McTominay's winner at Aston Villa. Like, he has been an integral part of the team, and I think he's definitely someone who will probably have a firm spot in the Manchester United squad next season. And I think he deserves that. I think he's been superb, and his performances are massively improved. So yeah, really happy with him, and his performances are massively improved. So he's the first contender that I've talked about. The second contender, Bruno Fernandes, another player who's... We know what he can do when he has the ball at his feet. He's a special player. We've seen it this season. In what has been a really poor season by Manchester United, he's still got over 20 goals and assists, I believe. I think he's on 25 for the season. He's had a season of ups and downs. It's been towards the start of the season in particular, he was okay. Then he had that patch where he was really poor in the games against Fulham, and games like that where he was really poor. He was inconsistent. He didn't get the ball. And he struggled. And yeah, I think Bruno's been a true captain this season. His development at the age that he is, he probably doesn't have too much in him, but the consistent criticism I think he's got this season has been very undeserved. I mean, I've criticised him at times this season, but I think overall I know that he's an integral part for Manchester United with his goals, assists, his all-round play, his leadership ability, his reliability. Yes, he's had a few injury games this season, but it's the first time he's been injured in his Manchester United career, and he gives 100% in games. He knows what it is to play for the club, and we know how much he loves to play for Manchester United, and you can see that he's a player who's very He shows his emotions on the pitch. He leaves his heart on his sleeve, and when he's a key member of Manchester United's team, someone who we can certainly build with. I argue sometimes he's a bit reckless in possession. You can see that. But most parts of the game, I think he's been fantastic. His assist for Kobbie Mainoo in the FA Cup was simply sensational. And I think playing him in the false nine role does probably help him because he's a bit more reckless. And there's not too much structure when he plays that role in midfield. There's a lot of gaps that he leaves. And you can see that. But I think the false nine role in the past few games, especially in the big games, has helped Bruno Fernandes. He's an integral part of our press. He knows how to do that pressing role really, really well as well. And he's been someone who we've relied on. His consistency is fantastic. Even when he's not having good performances, he'll still come up with a goal and an assist. And he's been a part of some sensational moments this season for Manchester United, lifting two trophies in the last 2 seasons, playing a big part in the FA Cup final. This season he scored a wonder goal against Sheffield United. What a finish it was at home. A great goal against Burnley away to win us the game as well. He scored some great goals and been a catalyst for our team for so many years. So really, really happy. He's the second contender, Bruno Fernandes, for the player of the season. Third one, 2 youngsters next. The first one is 19-year-old Kobbie Mainoo. Listen, first season at Manchester United in the first team. It's been a season full of special moments, from his debut against Everton, or his first game of this season against Everton, where he's shown, until his very last game in the FA Cup final. It's been nothing but fantastic to see the development of such a young player in the first team. And it's not like he's doing it against rubbish teams. He's doing it in big games. Liverpool scored a great goal. Manchester City in the FA Cup final scored another goal. Wolverhampton won us the game. Liverpool, Anfield away, he done it. Galatasaray away, he's done it. Like, he's played some big games. St James Park away, he's done that as well. So he's played in some big games, and he's shown in all of them to be a shining light in what has been a very, very poor season by Manchester United. Does show it to be a young teenager who's still developing, still not fully known all his traits yet. But to do what he's doing in that position is nothing but sensational, I think. As I said, so scored some great goals, played in that midfield. It's the fearless, it's the maturity in which he plays with the ball at his feet. When he's under pressure, he doesn't get scared. He rises up to the occasion, and I think he thoroughly deserves a shot to be in the player of the season. For his only first full season, to be getting all the shouts, to getting all the praise that he's been getting has been fantastic. He's in the Euro squad for England, will certainly play a key part for them in my opinion. He's a very versatile player, can play 6 and 8. Can even play in 10 if he wants to. Like, he's very, very good. He just has that close control about him. And yeah, he's an absolutely warrior. He's a warrior. He's physical. He's dominant. And can certainly score goals. Got that class about him. He scored a few goals this season. Newport, County, Liverpool, Man City, Wolves. Like, he scored some big goals for Manchester United. Newcastle. Like, he thoroughly deserves it. And he is certainly a contender for Manchester United's player of the season, just for the fact it's his first season. He's achieved so much in that season, and especially for being such a youngster. Like, he's a fan favourite, and he's been fantastic. The fourth and final candidate would be Alejandro Garnacho. Last season was his first full season, and he didn't really start many games. He was coming off the bench mainly as an impact sub. This season he started 40 games on the bounce, and has shown constant progression, playing on that right hand side, the left hand side, scoring great goals this season. He's shown a lot of development in him, and the trust that Erik ten Hag has given him, playing a big part in Manchester United's trophy lifts this season. He's been a key member of our squad, from replacing injured players to being in that first team to scoring big goals. He's shown this season as well. You look at the fearlessness he plays with as well, the ability to score goals in big moments. And with Garnacho, he's raw. He has, similar to Kobbie Mainoo, hasn't really developed yet, but what you can say, he gives 100% and he knows where he is to play for the Manchester United shirt. And I'm really, really happy with him. I'm very, very happy with his performances at Manchester United. I think he's done so well to get into the position that he's been in. He's obviously worked hard coming through the academy, and you look at the ups he's had this season, fantastic. Goal of the season against Everton, scored in the FA Cup final, had a big part to play in the Mainoo goal. Big goals in the Champions League, which obviously ultimately didn't get us anywhere, but at the time it was fantastic. And played a big part in that game against Liverpool in the FA Cup quarter final. Like, he's been fantastic. So they're the four players I would have for the candidate for Manchester United Player of the Season. I'm going to give you mine now. It has to be Delo. I think Garnacho, Mainu, Bruno have been fantastic, but I think it's still relatively early in their careers, particularly Mainu and Garnacho. For Delo, I think from last season to this season, he's been the most improved. The development that he's shown has been fantastic. The attitude that he's gone into every game, that warrior and fighter mentality has been installed into him, and he has what it takes to play for Manchester United, in my opinion. So for me, Delo is Manchester United's Player of the Season. Let me know what you guys think. Drop a like, comment and subscribe. Thanks for watching. Peace.